Hello.
Hey Nitin, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. Is my voice audible?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Sorry about that delay. Actually, I had some meetings that I have to take.
It's fine. It
Yeah.
happens.
So Nitin, where are you nowadays?
Right now I'm in my college.
In Raukela? Cool. So Nitin, what I want you to do is for next 10 minutes, if you can tell me about yourself and introduce yourself, and also tell me what are your questions. Those are the important ones. What is something that is bothering you, that you're trying to find an answer, and
Okay.
and also tell me what you want to do in your career, because this is like a conversation between you and me, so don't be too much formal, just be informal. As you can give me as much as information, I can try to diagnose how can I help you, and so forth.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so for next 10 minutes it's your time now. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So currently I'm a final year student doing my dual degree here in NIT Rourkela. So I belong to ceramic engineering background and my masters are with industrial ceramics. So till now what I was thinking was it's like whenever I start to study something regarding the subjects in this department, I used to feel like, these are all the industrial concepts which I used to learn, and I need to go to the industry to get this everything in the application or something. Means that's my field. I was thinking about that, and usually till now my CGPA was a bit low when compared to other students who were trying to go for abroad and all. So recently, from past 4 semesters, I performed well in my subjects, and as a result, I get closer to CGPA where the foreign institutes are accepting for the PhD or something. So I just asked my guide, who is with whom I am working on right now. So he said, you just explore everything first. You just wait for some days and then start applying for outside. Means he didn't say that whether I need to apply it now for if I want to get a PhD outside, or I have to wait, or should I get an industrial exposure for first 1 or 2 years from now. So he didn't tell me anything. He just said, you just wait for some days. You just go with the flow, he said. And I'm not getting it correctly. Means whether what I'm doing is right or not. Right now, I'm not placed in my college yet, and I'm sitting for placements also. So my question was, my big thing which was bothering me was whether I should continue for PhD right after my studies now.
Go ahead, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Whether I have to continue for PhD right now after my studies. That is, in June I'll be completing my masters here, or I have to wait for 1 or 2 years later.
Okay, so if I understood correctly, you are like, should I wait, or should I apply?
Should I apply now?
For so when you say apply now, what do you mean by now? What what
So
what
if I,
what time are you looking for admissions?
for the next January, maybe, means by January 23.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So as of now, means I know that most of the universities have passed the dates for applications.
Yeah, that's the
So
reason I was asking. Yeah, good.
uh,
Okay, so um, can you a little bit go a little bit deeper in what your question here is, which I'm not able to understand properly? Like what are the difficulty are you having? Because the reason I'm asking you this question, because there are questions which are obvious. For example, where can I apply and all that you can find on internet, right? You don't need me for that. But what are the questions that is bothering you personally that you cannot find an answer? That I'm more interested in those.
So personally speaking, I means there has to be some goal, means why you have to study and all. So I would like to be a professor in some university right here in India. I want to teach for someone.
Uh-huh.
So I would like to be in that job. So for that reason, I started looking out for the opportunities. So as I have seen my professors, they are all telling that if you have a PhD degree, then only many of the universities will accept you as a professor. So that's kind of getting me as an eligibility criteria. So to reach that, I have to get it. And the second thing it comes whether I should try for PhD in India or whether I should try it from the outside.
Yeah.
So everyone suggested that if you are going for PhD, just go outside. Don't get stuck here for 5 years. And even after 5 years, there is no guarantee that you will be getting success here in India. Everyone with whom I ask, they suggested me the same thing. So
Mhm.
for this, I started to plan, or I wanted to apply for universities abroad. And the
Okay.
second thing is, even in my family also, as of now, they are not in a position to send me out. Means if I ask them that, I need to go out
You
for
mean you
PhD
mean you
studies, they'll
mean you mean financial obligations, right?
financially.
Mhm. Okay.
So they
Right.
will be telling me that you earn first, and with your money you can go. I can't. Means we don't have enough money to send you out. So that's the situation here.
Okay.
So for that reason, I need to work somewhere, or I don't know whether the universities will fund me for that. I don't know anything about it. And
Okay.
honestly speaking, I have a CGPA which is just above the average level ones, means which is not that high when compared to other students who are coming from India. Along with that, I don't have a research publications yet. Means there might be coming in the upcoming 3 to 4 months. I may get one if everything goes good, but even that's in a question state whether I'll be getting it or not. So with these uncertainties I have, so I don't know what to do right now, whether to plan for it from now or I have to wait for some time.
Mhm. So okay, Nathan, I think I understand it better now. So a couple of things which are clear to me from you is you want to go to academics as a career. That is clear to you.
uh,
Okay. So that's a good news actually, that you're clear what you want to do. And now is the whole idea is how to achieve that goal, right? So I can tell you my
uh,
advice on that, and based on what I feel, that you can, and I will have some examples also that you can understand. So number one thing is what your professor is saying, that you need to have a PhD. That's true. That's like a minimum cutoff.
uh,
And I know and a lot of folks who have done their masters and BTech from NITs and are professors now in IITs. So my point here is, you have, just like them, you have a good chance to become a professor in an IIT. The question, because what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying that, you should aim for to become a professor in an IIT if you want to stay in India and become a professor in India. Don't go for a lesser aim, because the reason is very simple, because those are one of the best places, and if you fight for them, then you may be able to get IIT. If not, then you probably become a
see, I'm
professor. Go ahead.
Okay, see, I'm not planning as restraining myself to take a professor job in IITs. I would like to teach wherever it is in the world. If I get opportunities teaching outside, I'll be happier than being here.
No. So that's what I'm saying is, you have to be very clear on that goal. Where you want to become a professor, and where you want to become, at least be some have some, because you cannot say I can be a professor in Australia also. Then the question changes. My point is very simple here is, uh, if you want to become a professor in India, and I will give you an abroad, let's say if you want to become a
Mhm.
professor in US,
Mhm.
then, or any country for that matter, I would say make sure you get a PhD from that country, and get it from one of the best universities. As simple as
Okay.
that. Simple. So for example, if you want to become a professor in US, make sure, do your best to get into one of the top schools, do your best, and you will become a professor in US. But if you say, hey, if I am doing my PhD in India, I want to become professor in US, that's not going to happen. You understand my point?
I understood that.
So that's number one. Number two, even if you do your PhD from US, you can still come back to India and become a professor in any institution. That is okay. That is okay. So going abroad and coming back to your home country is always fine. So my point here is that if you do your PhD from abroad, from a decent university, from in a good topic, with a good professor, you can always come back to India and become a professor. At the same time, you can become a professor in that country too. But if you do your PhD from India, then the chances for you to become a professor in India are very high, not outside. That's all.
Even in India, it's not that high.
No. I mean,
So,
the point here is, let me tell you very frankly, it's not like you go abroad and you do a PhD. Becoming a professor in India is also very high. I don't think so. It's not easy.
so, it's not easy, but the chances are high
No,
compared to doing
no,
PhD here. So I have seen every professor here who are doing that.
no. What
So,
I'm saying, that if you think that, I don't know what you mean by high, but I can tell you, it's difficult. It's not easy. I know a lot of, see, I have an example. I'm living example for that, because when I finished my PhD from US, I applied to IC Bangalore and IIT Bombay. I got an interview, but it couldn't convert it. I know a lot of friends who did that, couldn't convert it. Very few were able to do it. And those, all of them were one of the best schools too. So India is very demanding also. And the reason I'm telling you why, there is, and you have to understand, in India, they cannot hire everyone who is coming from abroad. They have to consume their domestic students also, right? So somebody who is doing their PhD from IC Bangalore or IIT Bombay or IIT Delhi, they need to be employed too. So what I'm saying is, if you go to any faculty, again, I'm talking about good schools. I'm not talking about schools who are in a corner at a city. I'm talking about well-known schools in India. IITs in particular and NITs, you will find there is a well-balanced ratio of domestic students and international students. And those seats are very limited also. You know how many students do PhD abroad from India every year? I would say more than 10,000 every year. You think 10,000 of them can be consumed in India? No.
no.
So for you to say that it's relatively easy, I don't agree with that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay,
I
that's number
understood that.
one. It also depends on, so if you are, in my opinion, if you are doing PhD from a place like IC Bangalore or IIT Bombay or IIT Delhi, one of the good institutes, and your professor is very well known, in my opinion, for that person to get a faculty job in India is much higher. Because there is a status symbol that works in US also, by the way, that we need, you will find that professor has outreach, or he knows people, and he helped the students, and it's much easier. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I disagree with the point that if you do PhD from India, you cannot become, depends on where you go, where do you work on. I mean, you can come to US and do PhD from there. Are more than, I don't know, 150, 60, 70,000 universities in US, and you can do your PhD from wherever you want. Doesn't matter. You will go back and they will offer you a job in a plate. I mean, I know a lot of students during COVID that had PhDs from good schools, went back home and did not find a job and stayed in India. I know quite few of them. Okay. So just take out that from your mind. It depends on a lot of factors. It's just not one factor. You have like y is equal to mx plus b plus c, b, c, d, e. Your b could be India, your c could be something. There are a lot of factors there that play a role. So just be clear on that. I will definitely tell you one thing. If you go for a PhD from a university which is not well known, your chances of becoming a faculty anywhere becomes zero. That's true. So for example, if you do PhD from NIT Rourkela, do you think you can become a faculty in IITs? It's almost impossible. So the most important factor is where you do your PhD from.
Huh.
Second thing, who is your faculty advisor? These two factors matter much more than anything. Period. So if I have to write an equation, these two factors have more weightage than anything else. Okay? No matter where you want to become a faculty. So keep that in your mind. Okay? For example, if you come to US and you become, you do your PhD from not a well-known university, not a good area, and not a well-known professor, versus if you do your PhD from ISC Bangalore from a well-known faculty in a good area, in my opinion, your chances of become a faculty from ISC Bangalore, that student has much higher chances. Okay. So this is just for your information. Okay.
I
Just
understood that.
people saying because go abroad and then it will no, it doesn't work that way. Okay. So as I said, just keep that in mind. Good university, well-known faculty in a good area of research. That three things matter the most. Okay. What was your other question?
Means I'm trying, means I'm planning to get a
scholarship. Yeah, scholarship. So let me talk about the scholarship now. So if you get admitted, and I can talk about US in particular because I have done my education here. So I don't know too much about Europe and all that. I have that information just by talking to folks. I will share that information also. But in US, if you get admitted for a PhD program, because you have already have masters, you are going for a PhD. If you get admission for a PhD program in US, 99.9% or 99% is that will be funded. Otherwise, you will not get admission.
Okay.
That means your tuition is paid, everything is paid, and you will get a scholarship for your living expenses and all that. So you don't have to worry about your expenses from your parents. That's what I did, and everybody does the same thing. So be clear in that mind. So the hard part is getting into admission.
Okay. Getting admission, so financial part is all done.
Yeah. Master's student don't get that. They have to pay, not PhDs. Remember that. So whenever people tell you, oh, I have got an admission, a lot of undergrads say that, especially if they're a 4-year bachelor, because they're going for a master's program. Master's program is not funded. You have to pay, not PhD. PhD is paid. Okay. That's number one. Number two, if you go to a place like Germany, it is the same case in Germany also. But if you're applying in UK, Japan, Korea, and all that, then that's not guaranteed. You have to go through external funding. That means you have to apply for funding separately. So they will give you admission, but your scholarship will come through somewhere else. So for example, let's say you get a admission in Seoul University in Korea, and it's just an admission. So what happens to the funding? So you have to go through Ministry of Cultural Affairs and look at their scholarships and things like that. That's pretty, that's what it is. Maybe sometimes, so my wife did her PhD from Japan, and she got a Ministry of Japan scholarship or something. And there are some scholarships like that also. Okay. But what I'm saying in US, that's how it works. If you get once you get admission, you are funded. Okay. Yeah.
And the second thing is right now I'm working with glass science. So that's means my projects are all based on glass science itself. And wherever I've searched for a PhD degree, everywhere it's material science, it was there. So as a student, I can say that it's much broader field than what my particular field of interest is. Means I don't want to study about many biomaterials, which will come under material science. So if I get a PhD degree from material science, so it will be applicable everywhere. But I'm not well versed with every field which comes under it. So should I have to choose a subject which particularly makes mine, or I may get a chance or something to go there and means means whatever the things which I may get, I just go there and just complete it, or that way.
Either you know what area you are going for, or if you are not sure, that what the area you are going for is the right area or things like that, choose a broader program in material science.
Okay.
Because, I mean, here's the thing. You have to find some commonality between the area that you are going to apply. For example, you can't just randomly apply in Department of Electronics Engineering. You understand my point? So in my case, for example, I have an undergrad in mining engineering. I didn't want to do my master's. So what I applied in civil engineering.
Okay.
So I had a master's in civil. And then from there, I had some courses that I took, and that allowed me to apply for a PhD program in mechanical engineering. So I moved from mining, civil,
And into civil to.
but if you would have asked me, could I have applied from mining to mechanical directly, would not possible. Okay. You have to find some commonality there. And then I work in broader area of material science and engineering now. So what I'm saying is, you have to choose some commonality. I think the area you are working in is a very good area. There are a lot of professors in material science department who work on ceramic. I would say that will be a better choice. I don't think in US you will find a department of ceramics. Most of the professors that they work are in material science and engineering. Right. So you can go and work in that professor. You will get a degree in material science and engineering at the end. So it's not on ceramics anyway. And in India also nowadays, there are very few ceramic engineering programs. There are 2 or 3 places. And if you come back, you can easily apply. If you want to apply, you can apply to faculty position in material science and all that. And people in material science work in ceramics. Electronic ceramics is a big area, right? So that's a good area to work into. So
that's what means I'm getting things a bit clearer this way. Means I thought something else, so it's getting clear. And
yeah, no problem. I mean, these are questions you are asking are very, very common questions. I mean, I don't think you are asking anything which is out of the way or something. I mean, when I was undergrad, I had the same questions. Only problem was I didn't have anybody to answer those. Okay. So I don't think that's a very, actually it's good to ask these type of questions at this point, because after 5 years, you don't have choice, right? So it's better to ask and get a right opinion and be clear on those answers and make your decision. I mean, decision is yours, right? I just want to give you the information, because a lot of people say this and that. I mean, they have not gone through, I've gone through that process, and as I said, not only that process, I have been doing this career advising for last 1 year very rigorously. And I have spoken to so many students in India, abroad, everywhere. I have so much data in my brain that I can tell you. And so what you are saying is a lot of time is just somebody tells you. It's not the actual thing. Yeah. But what I think you are fine. I don't see an issue. By the way, your GPA is much better than what I had, so don't worry about that too. I think your GPA is fine right now. Yeah. I think the GPA you have is a good GPA. It's not gonna restrict you to apply. I think only problem happens. I can tell you that if you have any backlogs in your or any fail.
No, I didn't have anyone till now.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, don't do that, because I knew that was a problem with one of my friend who had one supplement and they asked that question and denied. Okay. Yeah.
So another thing means, should I apply for this year or should I have to wait for 2 more years? Means
I came in the spring too. I came to US in January.
No. Right now I'm in that phase where, see, due to this COVID and all, we didn't get exposure to our college fully. Means, see, actually what we thought was 4th and 5th year would be our best years to learn everything in college. And I lost my interns to DRDO. So if I'm feeling that I may be having some theoretical knowledge about some stuff which will be going on, I need to learn about what exactly an industry needs. Means whatever we are doing, it has to be multiplied in the large scale. So should I have to work? Means I'm planning for working in industry for 1 or 2 years, say, and then apply for PhD, or this will be the right time to apply for the next spring itself?
I mean, the point here is, if you know what you want to do, why you waste your time?
I may get an experience kind of.
Means, and what that going to do?
May help me to understand things better even there itself.
I mean, as I said, that's my feeling is if you know what you want to do, just go after that. Why you waste your time? There is no, you can work for 10 years and you can still be learning. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
Just make sure don't have confusion in your mind. This, that, no, no, no. The person who has more clarity is better. I don't think you have still clarity in your brain what you want to do. If you have clarity, no problem. Like a lot of students say, should I go for a PhD? Should I not? I mean, how can I tell them to go for a PhD? If you're not clear, that's a waste of my time. My point here is, if you are clear what you want to do, just go after that. I mean, there should be no, so see, you have to understand one thing. Anything you want to do, first thing you have to be clear, then you can do. Otherwise, you know, it's like you can't do something half-heartedly. A lot of people say, I want to do a PhD, but I'm not sure, but maybe after that I get a job. No, you do a PhD because you are interested in doing PhD, not because you are going to get a job. If you want a job, you can work after BTech. What's the point of doing a PhD? So just make sure you are clear on that part. There should be no confusion at all about why I am doing it. Okay. And as far as learning is concerned, you can be in a job. I'm still learning. My point here is you will always learn. Every day there is a learning. If you want to learn, just open a YouTube video on how to make an aircraft. You can learn that too. So learning is different. My point here is, what are you doing to achieve your goal that you are so clear about? If you're not clear about, then you need to work on that first, right? You can't have that, oh, if I have this, if I have that. Like, let's say, for example, if you have a job and you have a PhD offer and the person is confused. No, you should not be confused. You know what you want to do. Either get a job or go for a PhD. There is no confusion there. What can I do? How can I tell that, right? So just make sure that is clear to you in your mind. I can't tell you what you should do. I can tell you if you do this or that, what can happen. If you should have that clarity first.
Got it.
Anything else, Nitin? I can help you.
So as for now, I'm a bit clear. So if I get something, I'll tell you then.
Great. And as I said, don't worry too much about the scholarship part or what you want to do. I mean, as I said to you, there are not many students who are clear what they want to do. But if you are clear what you want to do as now, I think you will be able to achieve it right away. Okay. Okay, Nitin. I had to talk to somebody else too, but nice talking to you, and stay in touch. Okay.
It was nice.
Yeah.
I'll be mailing you whatever the updates I'll be
sure. And if you come to US, just send me a mail or something.
Definitely.
Yeah. Good luck, man. Good luck.
Sure. Thank you.